So I think it's happening. I think it's finally actually starting, this insane project of mine. We've been dealing with more clouds than I've ever seen before in a January, but if you can't tell up there, we got some blue sky, the sun just setted, and the sun just set. I don't know if it'll focus on it, but right there is a really small, probably 4 or 5% waxing crescent moon. So even though that moon is up right now, we should still be able to get some really nice photos tonight. I think it's gonna be clear. If everything goes right, I'm gonna get 3 14ers tonight. One with like the North American Nebula, one with Orion, and hopefully one with the comet. Got lots of cameras, got a truck full of gas, and a bunch of coffee in there. Let's get started. Field update number 1 of the project, and you have no idea how good it feels just to say that. I found a neighborhood area with some nice secluded roads between the towns of Leadville and Buena Vista, and I found a really nice view of Mount Princeton. And it's kind of a frustrating time of year because a lot of the really cool parts of the sky are lining up in goofy areas. So I had to drive pretty far south of Mount Princeton itself to get a nice view with the North American Nebula and the Cygnus region, all that cool stuff. So I have both my Canons are up and running. My R5 is shooting a time lapse at 85 millimeters. My RP is sitting on my move, shoot, move, and it is tracking at 35 millimeters. So my plan is to do a 3 panorama tracked vertical of the sky so I can get the really nice, tall, gassy part of the Milky Way and the really good nebulas there. And then should also be able to get the Andromeda Galaxy. And then I'm going to flip my camera horizontal, take a nice shot of the foreground to blend together. So far so good. It was a little frustrating finding this spot. One of the issues I had is that I came last week to scout out all of these mountains, and it was so cloudy I couldn't even see them. And by the time I got to Buena Vista, it was snowing, so I could barely see anything. So I had a little bit of trouble actually finding a spot to shoot, but I think we're good to go now. So I'm gonna leave my cameras running, but one mistake I did end up making is I forgot my intervalometer for my RP. So I'm able to do, oh, I gotta hit it again. I'm able to do bulb exposures for 2 minutes, but I can't do interval exposures in bulb. So I have to hit the button every photo, but I'm taking 2-minute photos. I'm gonna do 5 of each spot and then I'll pan over, so not too bad. That's like the least bad mistake I could have made. Our first 14ers, Astrophoto. Got a nice view of Mount Princeton. It might not be like the most epic photo, but it is a solid image, really good composition, really good start to this project. I thought about staying there and photographing Mount Antero just to the south of Mount Princeton, but I didn't love the view, and I was watching Orion, and I think Orion was gonna set right over Mount Princeton, and I already got a good photo of that. So I am going to rush down to Salida and find a spot to shoot Mount Shavano, and I think by the time I get down there and get set up, Orion will be setting over the mountain. So that is the plan. I hope it works out. But yeah, we're off to a start, finally. Update. Everything is harder in the winter, and everything is harder when you don't scout it the night before. I drove up towards Mount Shavano, up this, like a back road that goes into the National Forest, and it goes near the base area, and I thought I would stay far enough away that I wouldn't get too close you can't actually see the mountain. I found a nice parking spot and I hopped out, and there's a view of what I thought was a mountain. Take a look at this sample photo I took, just testing to see what the camera can see, because it can see a lot more than I can see. And it's not quite Mount Shavano. It is on Mount Shavano, but it's not the peak of it. It's a false summit that sits just down below it. So I'm too close to the mountain to actually see the mountain. So I'm gonna have to backtrack, go around, go up road 219 and see if I can find a safe spot to pull off there. I think it'll give me a better angle, but it really stinks because look at how cool Andromeda would look if I had got to like track it properly, like 85 millimeters, sitting right over the mountain. I could do it, but it's not quite right, and people who know the 14ers will know. So we'll try again. We found our shooting spot. I found like a really awesome view of Mount Shavano. So that part of the evening is finally going great after going up 2 roads that ended up leading to nothing. We're finally at something that will be a really nice view. So again, R5 setup with a 35 millimeter run and a time lapse, cute little pine tree right in the foreground, and this time I set up my Skywatcher Star Adventurer and my RP, modified by Spencer's camera, on my 85 millimeter lens, shooting another vertical panorama of the sky over Mount Shavano. Right now we have the Andromeda Galaxy is looking perfect, and I think it's a Heart and Soul Nebula off to the side will turn out awesome with this camera. But it is 3 American degrees out. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's not enough degrees. My brain isn't working right. Take a look at these images I was getting, and these are when I set up my Skywatcher and my 85 on the RP, and there's so much shake. I'm like, man, is my Skywatcher not working right? I checked the balance. I have like a homemade counterweight kit. I checked that, make sure everything was locked down. I just kept getting these weird little jittery things. So I thought there's something up with the gears. If you've already figured out what I messed up, leave me a comment down below and say this is what you messed up. I'll give you a second to think about it. I forgot to turn off the image stabilization on my 85mm lens, and so it was constantly trying to counteract the movement of the tracker, and I gotta go hit my exposure again. So it took me, I don't know, 4 or 5 shots to actually get it going, but now it is looking beautiful. I am tracking exactly what I want. Found a fantastic view. Definitely learned a couple things. I have to scout things during the day or have a very perfect plan using Google Earth and photo pills, because wandering up on these roads, I don't know how half of them are even open because there's so much snow, but we're making it work. Now, side note about where we're at, I'm up above Poncha Springs, which is near Salida, Colorado, up what isn't a 4-wheel drive trail, but it's also not a 4-wheel drive trail in the snow. Truck's doing good. It's also my tripod right now. BLM land, gorgeous views. I don't know what else to say. I will update you guys later. It's 3 degrees out. Quick note about why I am doing things the way I'm doing as far as stacking and tracking. You might think that tracking is good enough to lower your ISO, improve your signal to noise ratio, and that is totally true. But there is a reason that I'm always taking at least 5 frames per, or 5 photos per frame. Look at these images of Andromeda sitting right over the top of Shavano, and see how there's this plane going through? So if I'm just taking single photos, especially in a panorama, I'll have to spend a ton of time in post cloning this plane out. But if I'm stacking and doing a minimum of 5 in this case, I know that I can stack these photos in Photoshop. Photoshop will ignore the randomness, so it'll ignore the noise and make a cleaner image. It'll ignore the planes and make a no plane image, and it will preserve the good detail in the stars. So that is why I'm tracking and stacking for all of these shots. I had to get my big jacket on because it is way too stinking cold out here. I just finished shooting the sky for the Shavano. image, and now I turn my tracker off, switch my camera into horizontal. Really glad I have that L bracket, makes it super easy. And I am doing a horizontal panorama of the foreground, and I figured right now is as good a time as any to beg for those likes, comments, and subscribes. If you have made it this far, if you want me to keep making more of these videos, give me that like. If this is your first time watching and you've enjoyed this for some reason, give me that subscribe. And I think it could be fun to do like a little comment game. It's not really a game, but a comment theme for each video. This theme is going to be, leave me a comment with your favorite temperature. Because my least favorite temperature in the whole world right now is 3 degrees. I know it's worse many other places, but oh man, I am chilly. So leave me a comment, what's your favorite temperature to shoot astro in? I am going to need a little help with funding the printing of the 14ers book. So if you would like to support this, and if you're at all interested in astrophotography prints, please head over to my website and my print website, which is chasingluminance.darkroom.com. On that website, you can use the code 14ers, 14ERS, at checkout for a small discount, and you can look through my wildlife work, my landscape work. I'm gonna make a special category just for the 14er images. I'm probably gonna wrap things up out here for tonight right now. Everything is frozen. I'm sure my light and my microphone are about to die. So I will see you guys back at the office. Don't click off of the video quite yet. I have a surprise for you when we get back to the office. Yeah, so this little project of ours is already whooping me. Got home after shooting those 2 mountains at about 5 o'clock, and yeah, the sleep schedule's weird, but I knew that would be part of it. Got home around 5, and then a few nights later, last night, I decided to head out and go even further south, and got home at 7 after having a pretty unsuccessful night. Subscribe if you want to see my video about that. Everything went wrong, and yeah, didn't get any mountains last night, but I knew that was inevitable, that not every night would be as good as the night you guys just watched. I did mention in the truck that I had a surprise for you guys. So after I got done tracking the sky and shooting the foreground for Shavano or Shavano, I don't know how to say it, I pointed my camera north because, if you haven't heard, there is a comet CT 2022 ZTZ something, and I figured I might as well give it a shot. So I pointed my RP with my 85mm lens towards the comet. It took me a couple of frames moving around to find it, but once I did, it was really close to a star that I could see with the naked eye. So I was able to point this guy at the comet and get some track shots. This is my OM1 with the Mzuiko 300mm. This stinking setup right here is an absolute cheat code for deep space astrophotography. It is so compact and gives you such good reach, and my EM1 Mark III that I'm filming on, as well as this OM1, are pretty stinking fantastic at night images, especially those deeper lenses, tracked and stacked exposures. So this is the image I was able to get out of that comet. Not the greatest one, but something I'm fairly proud of, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's something that hasn't been around for, I think, hundreds of thousands of years, and it won't be by our way again till long after we're all gone, so it's always fun to get a little bit of history recorded there. Now, I also made some star trail images out of the time lapses from both of the mountains, and I think that's a really cool way of adding some variety to the print selection from the 14ers project. So all of these images I got are now available on my website. Link down in the description, discount code 14ers at checkout if anyone would like to pick those up. I know I mentioned it already, but I'm going to keep mentioning it because I'm excited, and I love seeing when my work is hanging up on the walls. Now that is where I'm gonna leave it for today. Again, hit subscribe and the bell notification if you want to see episode 3, which I just filmed last night, where everything went wrong, and I have a solid 8-minute rant sitting in the Jeep. So if that's the sort of thing you're into, definitely stay tuned for that video. All right, thank you everybody. I'll see you on the next one.